Analysis of variance or Anova is used for comparing several means.
There is a long way to do these tests and a short way.
The shorter way to do the Anova test is in your graphing calculator.
The main idea is how far apart the means are relative to the variability of individual observations.
Anova tests whether several populations have the same mean by comparing how far apart the sample means are with how much variation there is within the sample. We want to test the null hypothesis that there are no differences between the means.
The alternative hypothesis is that there is some difference. Not all means are equal.
Alternative hypothesis is many-sided because it's saying all three aren't equal.
In most cases, we expect F tests to be significant.
You usually do a follow-up analysis.
Follow-up would allow us to say which means differ and by how much.
Conditions. We have independent SRSs.
Each population must have a normal distribution with an unknown mean.
All the populations have the same standard deviation, with the mean still unknown.
The largest sample standard deviation is no more than twice as large as the smallest sample standard deviation.
Steps in your calculator. Enter the data into List 1, List 2, List 3, and List 4. Then go to Stat, Test, then Anova. Then do Anova, List 1, List 2, List 3, List 4, then Enter. To detect the presence of harmful insects in farm fields, we can put up boards covered with a sticky material and examine the insects trapped on the boards. Which colors attract insects best? Experimenters place 6 boards of each of 4 colors at random locations in a field of oats and measure the number of cereal leaf beetles trapped. Here are the data.
We would like to use Anova to compare the mean numbers of beetles that would be trapped by all boards of each color. Because the samples are small, we plot the data in side-by-side stem plots in figure 15.8. Computer output for Anova appears in figure 15.9. The yellow boards attract by far the most insects, with green next and blue and white far behind.
Check that we can safely use Anova to test equality of the 4 means. The largest of the 4 samples standard deviations is 6.795 and the smallest is 3.764. This is the ratio.
The ratio is less than 2, so these data satisfy our rule of thumb. The shapes of the 4 distributions are irregular, as we expect, with only 6 observations in each group. But there are no outliers. The Anova results will be approximately correct.
This agrees with the computer results. The F statistic is F equals 42.84. A large F with p-value p is less than 0.001. Despite the small samples, the experiment gives very strong evidence of difference among the colors. Yellow boards appear best at attracting leaf beetles.
A one-way Anova test can be performed with a graphing calculator as long as you are comparing no more than 6 means.